Welcome to the Positive Sports Podcast. I'm your host this evening, Ed Montana. Alongside me today, my ace, my playing through pain brother, Alex. How you doing, my friend?
What's up? What's up, everyone? Good afternoon, everyone.
It's evening.
Oh crap! It is evening. Holy schmoly!
We got started late.
Yeah, thanks to you.
I was here on time. Someone's moving a little slow today.
Yeah, just a little bit. But hey, man, we got a great show lined up for everyone today. Mm-hmm. Okay, absolutely. We got a little positive running to talk about. We're gonna dive into a little bit of UFC, maybe a little basketball,
maybe.
But how about we start off with some Olympics?
That sounds like a good idea, man. The Olympics were awesome. I love the Olympics because it's really like being at a buffet, right? You get one of everything. You get a little skiing, you get a little hockey, you get a little bobsled, a little luge. You get a little bit of everything. It's great. I love it. Unfortunately, though, like the buffet, it's over. We left the buffet.
The sad part.
This is the sad part. We left the buffet. And now we don't have that buffet of sports. But we do have some wonderful memories, some outstanding performances to look at. It was a lot of fun for 2 weeks, man. It was just highlight after highlight. It was really a lot of fun to watch. Now that the 2 weeks is over, my favorite moment of the Olympics, man, I don't know. I got to say the women's hockey team, that was just a bang-up job. They played... In case you don't know, in women's hockey, it's, the U.S. and Canada 1A, and then the rest of the world is pretty far behind.
Right.
They played twice, 2 thrilling matchups. The second one, obviously, for the gold medal. It went into overtime, a ton of opportunities, but no one scored. And then it went to the shootout. And man, that was on pins and needles, right? In the shootout, you get 5 aside.
Right.
It was still tied. They went to basically, a 1-1, kind of like extra innings in baseball. Fantastic performance by the U.S. women, and really just a lot of fun to watch overall.
Now, the thing I don't get is in hockey, okay, they need to eliminate the shootout. Just keep playing. Just keep playing, okay? Plus, if you were in my time zone, Central Time Zone, you probably stayed up until, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning?
1 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, listen, my adrenaline is pumping, gold medal game. Give me some more hockey, please.
That's right. Yeah, the shootout has got to be the worst way to determine anything, right? Here they are battling for 60 minutes. They threw in another... I think the overtime was another period. It was another full period.
Yeah.
80 minutes of hard work, banging and playing and skating up and down. And then everything comes to a grinding halt. And you got 1-on-1. It's like breaking a tie in football with a field goal kicking contest. It's just terrible. They do it in soccer as well. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. It is very dramatic, which is good, but it is just awful for the participants. It's exciting for us to watch, but for the athletes, I think it's terrible.
Yeah, like an elimination game like that, gold medal game, Stanley Cup final. Stay away from the shootout.
I agree.
Just keep playing.
Just let the natural attrition of the game run its course, right? I mean, hey.
Eventually, someone's going to score.
Right. And that's what it does, right? It tests their will and their physical attributes and their concentration. It tests them. It pushes them beyond their limits. Let them keep playing. One of the best things about the hockey playoffs in the NHL, right, is when you get one of those 4 overtime games. Man, I love... Now, it's a little bit rough when you have to go to work the next day. You stayed up till 2:30 watching the Sabres and Bruins play 4 overtimes in... like game 3 of the first round, but I can't stop. I'm hooked, man. I'm hooked. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely no shootouts. I hate it. What was your favorite part of the Olympics over the last 2 weeks?
Oh man, listen, without a doubt, my favorite is curling. I said that a couple weeks ago. Curling is by far the best Olympic sport, Winter Olympic sport. And listen, the judges have to go out there and use a micrometer, okay, to measure.
Hey, go ahead and say micrometer 3 times real fast, 'cause I don't think you can.
Micrometer. Bow. Ace that one.
Now that's a word. That's a word that Alex uses all the time, folks.
Yes, I was corrected a long time ago. It's not micrometer. It's micrometer. But no, I mean, curling was awesome, and again, it was the U.S. representing, and ousting the Sweden team, and it was, you know what? I don't watch. Obviously, I don't watch curling much, right? It's just
once every 4 years.
Once every 4 years, but the strategy behind it is amazing,
I know.
and you don't realize it until you actually watch a full game,
right?
Or
right,
match,
right.
or stone match, or whatever you call it.
Yeah, well, and that's one of the things, right? One of the bad things about the Olympics being in Korea, or actually they'd probably do this anyway, is they don't show you the entire game. But for that gold medal match, they showed you everything. So for those of you that don't know, there's 8 stones thrown in each end, right? Each end is kind of like an inning in baseball,
Right.
except they alternate. Well, during the early rounds, during the preliminary rounds and stuff, they only show you like the last 3 stones in each end.
Right.
So you don't get all the strategy. But there's strategy from the first stone.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a super precise game.
Yes.
And, I mean, I thought it was just drinking a beer, sliding back and forth on the ice thing. But it's not. It is super intense. And here's the other thing about curling. And I don't understand how this happens, but God bless it, because it has happened this time. Curling has become like insanely popular. I was watching the UFC fights this weekend, and one of the guys won his fight, and afterwards, part of his celebration was a curling reenactment. I'm like,
that's awesome.
What the hell is that? Usually they jump on top of the cage and pound their chest and yell to the crowd. No, this guy's like acting like he's sweeping.
They need to come out with an emoji with the curling guy. That'd be awesome, or a sweeper.
Yeah, a sweeper.
Yeah.
Right? I could just see it now. You sending text messages to your friends
They'll be like, what the F is that?
Yeah, I'm moving like a curling sweeper.
And look, and those sweepers they have the most underrated position, because number one, I'm assuming it must be tiring. And to make make that heavy stone have to curve a couple degrees to whatever direction.
Yeah,
I mean, they gotta be. They look like
really
they're humping
precise.
and pumping.
You know what I always wonder is, like, and I'm sure it's happened. How many times do they slip and just fall on top of the rocks? And then they messed up the whole thing. They moved everything. I don't know what happens. Like, what happens if they accidentally kick a rock, or accidentally when they're sweeping they hit another rock or something?
And they've come mighty close in that match that I watched. It's got to be a penalty of some sort, I would assume.
I don't know.
But I think that was the highlight of the 2 weeks for me.
I'll tell you what, I felt like such an idiot, right? I set my alarm for 12:30 when the match started. I watched the whole thing, and when they scored 5 in that 8th end, I did that whole, that muted cheer, and I was like,
See, you're much braver than I am. I didn't stay up that late for the curling, so I said, you know what? I'm just not gonna watch Twitter. I'm not gonna watch the results. I watched it the next day.
You just can't do that.
And it was. I usually don't do that, but for this one, I did.
I can't.
So.
I can't. And the other thing that was really good, just the last little bit on the Olympics, the figure skating. The U.S. kind of disappointed in that. They didn't do as well as we had hoped, but I couldn't jump and spin 4 times in the air. If I jumped 4 times, I don't think I could make it around 4 times. I'd make it around maybe 3 1/4. And those guys are doing it on kitchen knives.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And yeah, they stumble sometimes and whatnot. And even the women, they're doing double, triples and stuff. And I mean, it's just, oh my God, it is amazing to watch. It's so much fun to watch stuff that you don't normally see, and to see it at the highest level. It's wildly entertaining. Now, I don't like the way the figure skating thing works, right? Because there's judges and stuff. But to watch the skill it is beautiful to watch.
Yeah, it's astonishing what they can do on skates, right? On ice. But yeah, figure skating doesn't cut it for me as one of the gotta watch. I just can't get into it.
You know what? We should
the music. Look, listen. Somebody needs to skate on some hip hop music, on some techno.
There you go.
Because if not, I'm gonna fall asleep for like 7 minutes and
that's true.
Just
That
miss everything.
that opera stuff.
Yeah, that.
But I don't know if you've noticed this. You probably haven't because you haven't watched it. If there's words in their music, they suck. They're trying to pump up the crowd. They're gonna fall on a couple of jumps.
Yeah.
They're trying to get the fans to clap. It doesn't work. So if there's words, it's no good.
Yeah, no bueno.
Maybe just a techno version of hip hop.
That'll work.
That'd be the way to go right there.
Oh, listen, real quick on okay, what the hell is the double luge? Because my first time hearing about it. Okay, number one, it's kind of fun if they crash. So if anyone doesn't know what a double luge is, it is two people on the luge.
On your back, right? We talked about this on a previous episode where you've got the luge is on your back, skeleton is on your stomach face first.
Right.
Do they have double skeleton?
I don't know, but it seems all awkward, okay? So you have two people on the sled, and they're both on their back, and you're wondering, well, how big is the sled? How exactly are they positioned?
One on top of the other.
Yeah, and they need to cancel that sport. That's not appropriate, okay? It seems very uncomfortable for the guy on the bottom and top.
It's two guys?
Well, yeah, I think so.
But if it's two chicks, you can't get like a woman with some big breasts, so then she's like, trying to balance on.
Yeah, and then the one on top is not getting poked by accident. I mean, that's just, go away from that.
That's crazy. That sport is nuts.
I didn't even know that sport existed.
That sport is nuts no matter how you look at it, man. You're just on a little sled going 60 miles an hour down an ice tunnel. The
fun part is, well, for the viewers and for myself, they mess up a little, they end up crashing. You get two for the price of one.
I'm waiting for the day that one of them on one of those turns just takes it too far and goes bling, right off the edge. That's got to be scary.
Yeah, it's scary just riding on that thing.
Yeah, I don't think I would do.
Not that I would know, but I could imagine.
I couldn't sled down a little hill.
Yeah,
that would just be crazy, absolutely crazy.
What else you got?
That's it for me on the Olympics. Speaking of performances, though. Did you catch Tiger Woods this weekend?
I did not catch Tiger Woods.
Here's the thing. Now he played better. He made the cut. He ended up in 12th place.
Well, he made it to Sunday, so that's a progress.
That's making the cut, right? He's progressing, but people have to stop. Like I think the PGA is doing themselves a disservice talking about the 12th place finisher this week. Last week they talked a whole bunch about a guy who didn't even play on the weekend. They're diminishing the value of their product by talking about a guy who's not even playing on the weekend. It frustrates me as a fan because look, I want to see the guys that are in contention, and Tiger Woods is not going to play high-level golf forever. You got to start looking at the next guys. And I mean, you had Rory McIlroy for a while, and he kind of phased out, and Jordan Spieth, but they're not staying with it. They're not talking about all of those guys, and I think they're really doing themselves a disservice. Am I happy that Tiger Woods is back? Yeah, sure. I mean, I just want to see good golf. I really don't care what name's attached to it, but you got to keep promoting all the other guys as well. The guy that won this weekend's won 8 tournaments, and he's 25 years old, 24 years old, something like that. Hey, man, promote that guy. I don't even remember his name because all they did was talk about Tiger.
Yeah.
It's just not...
Yeah, no, I mean, I for one want to see Tiger do well, right? I mean, what he's done already is amazing, but I agree 100%. If you want to keep your product up to date, if you want to keep, promoting the best, there's other golfers out there other than Tiger. And listen, I want to know what Tiger's doing. I want to know what he's doing on the weekends. But he didn't even have a top 10 finish.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And starting off Sunday, he was pretty far back. I mean, he had a good Sunday, made not a charge exactly, but he moved up a few spots.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what it is too. I think the golfers, the other golfers, don't tend to really stay on top for that long. You know, that's a problem too. You know, like okay, you can promote Rory
McIlroy.
Yeah, McIlroy, that guy, and but like you said, he kind of phased away a little bit. So then who's up next? So you know, it's difficult. It's difficult.
It is tough, and I don't know how you fix that problem. But yeah, you're right. They don't stay. Well, and the other thing too, right? There's like 75 guys at every tournament, so. I mean, you got to be really on top of your game to be in the top 10 every week. And, you know, they play a relatively long schedule. They play a lot of golf. So, you know, it's hard to stay on top for multiple years and and whatnot. They made the courses so long. They've tiger-proofed the courses. And what they've done is they've golf-proofed the courses now because no one can be dominant on them because they're so damn long.
Yeah.
So it's a catch-22. It's a tough situation for PGA. I don't have any concrete advice for them. Now, the people I do have some advice for
are the fans.
No, MMA, the UFC. Man, get one set of rules.
Yes.
So, I don't know if you know, but for people that don't know, there was a UFC card this weekend. Jeremy Stephens against Josh Emmett, and in the second round, Jeremy Stephens drops Emmett. As he's down there and he's trying to finish him, he hits him with a couple of elbows that are questionable. He can't hit the back of the head. It looked like he may have hit him in the back of the head. But where he really screwed up is then he threw a knee that it may have missed him, it may have grazed him. It wasn't a game changer, but if it so much as touched him, if Josh Emmett had hair, it would have touched him at the very least, and it's illegal. And, you know, you got to take a point away, you got to consider DQing the guy or whatever. He missed on the knee, he may have grazed him, whatever. And then, as he's still trying to finish him, the guy kind of gets on his back, he drops an elbow on his face, and that was the end of that. And it was pretty gruesome if you want to watch it again. If you like gruesome stuff, that's the elbow to watch. Holy crap. Shattered his orbital bone in 3 places. I mean, just ridiculous. Tough way to make a living, folks.
I didn't even know I had an orbital bone.
It was, I mean, you could, not to be gross, but you could see it crush. I mean, it was just, brutal.
That's awesome.
But here's the problem. They were fighting in Florida. So every state commission licenses these fights, right? Each state has their own rules. There is a sanctioning body that has developed what's called the Unified MMA rules. But there are some states that have adopted those rules, and there are some states that have not. So, in the instance of this knee to a grounded opponent, in some state, depending on which rules you follow, in some states, if you have so much as the tip of your fingernail touching the canvas, you're considered grounded and you can't knee the guy. In other states, you have to have either a knee down or the palm, or both hands, the palms of your hands down on the ground to be considered grounded. The referees go and talk to these guys before every fight. And Jeremy Stephens said after the fight, he said that the way it was explained to him was that in that situation where he had 2 hands down, if you pick one hand up, you can knee him, regardless of whether he has a knee down. Which is, you know, Josh Emmett was on his knees because he was rocked. So, my point is, surely the referee did not explain it to him that way. But again, you can't really blame Jeremy Stephens because sometimes he fights in Las Vegas, which has not adopted those rules. Right. Now he's fighting in Florida, which has adopted those rules. He's got to deal with 2 different situations. It's a problem. And look, it's stupid. Why you have 2 different sets of rules depending on where you fight is ridiculous. Every single commission should adopt 1 set of rules and go forward from there. How do you train in a gym You can't even really train with everybody, because if you and I are training in the same gym and our fights are a week apart, we're pretty much on the same schedule, cutting weight and peaking and stuff. But you fight the first week in Florida and I fight the week after in Las Vegas. We're fighting under different rules.
Right.
It's absolutely insane. It is as stupid as Major League Baseball, which has different set of rules in American League parks than they do in National League parks. It is stupid. It is one sport, have one set of rules. Now, the difference is in baseball, you have a DH or no DH. You're not going to get concussed or knocked out by having a DH or not. In MMA, it's a little more grave and serious. It's just, I know I've gone on too long about this, and if we have people that don't like MMA, they're like, shut up. But it's asinine. I don't understand. This is a perfect example of why you got to change the rules.
Yeah. Yeah, no, mind-boggling, right? You just have one set of rules and that's it. I honestly don't watch MMA too much to know the rules as well as you do, but that sounds like that needs to be fixed for the sake of the safety of the boxers. Because if you don't know the
fighters,
rules,
yeah.
The fighters. If you don't know the rules, someone can get hurt.
Yeah, I mean,
and apparently the refs don't even know the rules.
Well, yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows, right?
Yeah, that's
but, I mean,
not good.
Here we are in another rules rant. Even in the NFL. In the NFL, everyone doesn't know what a catch is. Right. It's not like in the NFC they don't know what a catch is, but in the AFC they do.
Right, that's a little more concrete.
Right, yeah. At least they're consistent. No one knows the rules.
Speaking of rules, let's go back to golf real quick. So, the golfer, and I don't remember his name, took a hack of the ball right off the tee, and the fan yelled out after the swing, "Get in the bunker!" And the guy freaked out and told something to the fan and got him thrown out.
Are you serious?
Yes. You didn't hear about that?
I didn't hear about that.
Oh my God. Yes, got him thrown out, and that just seems like some real petty shit.
And this is my problem with this. Again, this is one of those things, right? Is this a sport or is this a skill? If you don't directly influence the other person,
It was after he hit the ball. The ball was well in the air, and I'm like, come on, man, pull your pants up.
Dude, have you ever been to a professional golf tournament?
I have not.
The amount of seriousness that they take the whole silence thing is ridiculous. Like if a golfer so much as hears your phone vibrate, not ring, vibrate in your pocket, you're getting tossed. And quite frankly, I think sometimes they're just being jerks. They're just like, that was a terrible shot. Is your phone vibrating? Get him out of here. That's after the shot.
After the shot, yes. I mean, that's just petty.
No, that's childish. And those golfers are, not to get on a political rant here, but, I mean, white privilege. I mean, it's just, golfers are just...
But listen.
What's a little noise?
You figure... Okay, listen, they don't serve Capri Suns at golf tournaments, okay? They're serving beer, and I'm sure someone's sneaking in a flask or two and drinking. I mean... I'm sure
they're serving hard liquor at golf tournaments.
So I'm sure they want to get a little riled up. Let them scream before, after. Who cares?
You can buy Long Island iced teas at a golf course. Yeah. I went to the Shell Houston Open a few years ago. You could buy Long Island iced teas. They were this big. You got 4 ounces of drink for $25. Ooh. So maybe no one's getting drunk.
Yeah. So you do have to bring your flask.
Yeah. Which is, is pretty much the only way I roll.
Yeah. Long Island
Except for maybe a drive for work. You like Long Island iced teas?
Yeah, no, not anymore. I sure don't.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a story behind that, isn't there?
I can't even remember, to be honest with you. You probably know it better than I do, but
that's how you know there's a story.
We'll leave that for another episode.
Oh man. So back to rules, right? We're on a rules kick here. The NCAA scandal.
Oh,
right?
man.
That FBI problem.
There's no problems in the NCAA.
Holy shit. People are going to the hole.
They're going to come down, and they're going to come down fast. And I think after the tournament is over, they will come down faster.
I don't even think it's going to take that long.
I think it will. I think it will because, listen, Louisville, Arizona, Michigan State, and North Carolina, those 4 teams will not make it to the Final Four, Elite Eight. They're not going to win the championship. And if they bust other teams, there will be nobody left to win the tournament. Those 4 teams are not winning the tournament. I'll tell you that right now, right?
Not because with all the problems.
No, exactly.
Arizona's another one.
Right. They will not win the tournament. And so they're not going to allow a team that is in the scandal to win a tournament. So I think they're going to ease up on. I think the real bang is going to come after the tournament.
Hold on. Are you saying that none of those teams are going to win the tournament because of the scandal?
Yes.
You think they're going to get suspended or?
I just don't think they're going to win. The NCAA is not going to allow them to win the tournament.
Oh, hold on. Explain that to me. Because Michigan State is a top 5 team right now.
It is. Yes, it is. Absolutely. It's been top 5 for most of the year, actually.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They're not going to win the tournament. I can guarantee you, you can check back on this episode, I can guarantee you neither of those 4 teams will win the tournament, including Michigan State. The NCAA.
But you think it's because at some point they will play poorly because of the pressure of the tournament, or you think the NCAA is going to pull them out of it, sanction them such that they don't play in the tournament, or what? Explain it to me. What you're trying to say here, because I'm not getting it.
Okay, so I think that all of this is leaving a black eye on NCAA.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
And I think if you allow, especially a team like Michigan State to win this tournament, that would be 2 major black eyes that I don't think they want to have. They already have a problem. I think it's just going to make them. I think it's going to make college basketball look even worse.
But hold on, bro. Are you telling me? I'm trying to figure out.
Are you deaf?
Do you understand the words? I'm trying to figure out what you're saying here. Are you telling me the NCAA is going to sanction them and not allow them to play? Is that what you're saying?
I think...
No. That's a yes or no question.
No. They're not going to sanction them.
Okay.
What they're going to...
Hold on. Now, so then they're not going to be sanctioned.
Right.
So you're telling me then that because of the pressure of the scandal, they will not play well enough to make it that far. Is that what you're telling me?
Incorrect. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, so that only leaves me one place to go, and I hope you're not implying this, or we're going to have this podcast is going to go on for an hour. We're going to argue about this forever. So you're telling me the NCAA is going to, through some other avenue...
Manipulate?
Okay, I was not going to use manipulate. Manipulate the contest such that those teams will not advance.
Absolutely right.
You're out of your freaking
Absolutely right. Listen, it would not go past me to believe that, and it shouldn't go past you to believe that either, because a lot of... Look, this is a bad mark on NCAA, and it would not surprise me if that was the case.
No, look. No, you're absolutely... No. You and I are going to disagree on this. This is going to drive me insane.
Yes, we are.
Listen, a bajillion-dollar event like the NCAA tournament, when the eyes of the FBI are already on it,
right,
and have been for quite a while, not just because of this scandal, but because of just point shaving. It's always been, I think, a focal point for corruption. And so I think the FBI has always kind of kept an eye on it. Surely the NCAA will not be so stupid and blatant to try to ruin their billion-dollar tournament by some kind of shenanigans of making sure these teams don't win.
Well, let me ask you, would you be surprised if a team like Butler, if a team like, I don't know, North Dakota or any other team, not big-name team, makes it to the Final Four and ends up winning the tournament?
Yeah.
It shouldn't surprise you.
No, but it's not going to surprise me. But it's not going to surprise me because I've seen it happen, right? George Mason went to the Final Four a few years ago. Butler went to the final game, down to the last shot. Right. So no, it's not going to surprise me for that reason. But it would have nothing to do with the NCAA pulling some strings to make sure that a team like Michigan State or North Carolina or Louisville doesn't win the tournament. I think that's insane. I mean, look. I think the NCAA is a terrible organization. I agree with Stan Van Gundy who made that comment, but I don't think they're that stupid. You're really at that point. You're really messing with the integrity of your game.
Well, haven't they already messed with the integrity of the game?
But technically they.
Well, then that's why this should not surprise you.
No, but technically the NCAA has not. It's all of the people on the periphery of the NCAA that have messed with it. The AAU coaches, the neighborhood sugar daddy that gives the kids some money. Now we're seeing that.
Right, but the NCAA knows about that.
Well, they don't know. They don't know about all of it.
Come on.
They don't know about all of it. But what you're suggesting is something far greater than that. You're saying the NCAA will directly manipulate games to prevent teams from going. Why would they do that? This investigation, this FBI stuff and investigation and stuff, it's going to take a couple years to pan out. They're going to, look, if Michigan State won, they'd have to give back their banners in 2020. Who cares? The NCAA is not going to give a shit about that. The NCAA is going to care about their ratings right now, and they're going to say, hey, we got great ratings in 2018. On to 2019. If we got to take the banners away from them, we'll do it later. Big freaking deal.
I disagree totally, 1,000%. I don't think they want any of those teams that have come out and have been named
in several places
to win nothing. Not this year.
I don't disagree with you that they don't want to, but the implication that they would do something to make sure that doesn't happen, I think is
what other way is
crazy.
Well, what other way would they prevent from that happening? What other way? There's no other way, bro.
Well, they'll seed them a little bit tougher. Maybe they'll do stuff like that, but I doubt they're going to manipulate games. I think that is going too far, even for the NCAA. Surely they're not that stupid, and don't call me Shirley.
Temple.
I don't know. And I'll tell you what, there are people that are in a whole heap of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
And, I'm curious to see how different people will handle it. So Tom Izzo, the Michigan State coach, he's talked about it some, but kind of doesn't want to anymore. Mike Krzyzewski, the Duke coach, who I hold in very high regard, has come out and said, hey, look, let's let the process play out. We don't think we've done anything wrong. We've investigated, blah, blah, blah. And then you've got Arizona, who's got their coach on wiretaps talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they're saying, oh, yeah, you can play. Don't worry about it.
Now, who's the idiot in that scenario with the Arizona coach? Because, listen, if you're an NFL football team or if you're an NBA basketball team, and we don't like to see this, I don't like to see this, but if you're going to send out a player to injure someone on the other team, you send out the 15th or the 53rd man. You don't send out your star player. Why was the coach wiretapped? Why did he allow? Why
was he having those conversations with the Adidas guy? That's a good question.
Yeah?
Oh, I mean, maybe he's that stupid, or maybe he somehow got set up. I don't know. Here's the other thing about this. And I said this back when the Balco thing happened. Adidas isn't the only one doing this, right? Nike's doing it. Under Armour's doing it.
Yeah.
If anyone wore Reeboks, they'd be doing it. Maybe not to this extent. Maybe not this blatant. Maybe not. I don't know, man. But and I'm not saying everyone's doing it, but I just. It's such a corrupt business. They've got to overhaul it somehow. It's mind-boggling. It really is.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly what the solution is, but I mean, one solution could be, the NBA has adopted this G League, which I don't even know what the G stands for. They had a D League. Yeah, good. They had the D League.
Developmental.
Yes, very good. And, if these kids don't want to go to college on a athletic scholarship, then allow them to go to this G League, pay them, okay, and they can start their career there. But I just think it's not doing them any good to take this under the table and just do it illegally.
They're trying to the NBA they won't accept kids straight out of high school. They're trying to build a farm system, an informal farm system, the way the NFL has the NCAA. The difference is that a high school kid can physically probably not compete. I said that the long way. A high school senior, a graduating high school senior, from a physical perspective, probably, most likely, 99.9% of the time, cannot compete at the NFL level. In the NBA, it's different. A 19-year-old kid, 18-year-old kid, fresh out of high school, can compete at the NBA level. I think they would probably help the NCAA with this problem by getting rid of the one and done rule, or by getting rid of the can't come to the NBA straight out of high school.
Right.
But on the other side, they would hurt the NCAA product because it would not be as good because the best players would just be jumping straight to the NBA. And additionally,
well, why are some of them going to college? Because they're getting something under the table.
Well, no, they're going to college because they have to go somewhere for a year. They can't go straight out of high school. In the meantime, in that year, they don't want to sit around and not make any money. And they've got all these hangers on and stuff. Look, when I was in college, I was in the dorm with the football players and the basketball players. So the way it was set up, it was the two southernmost dorms were closest to the athletic fields, right? The athletic fields were all south of campus. And so they jammed all of the football players, basketball players, hockey players, baseball players. They jammed them all in these two dorms. The amount of hangers-on to these 19, 20, 21-year-old kids is amazing. It is unbelievable. And these NBA guys, even more so. Or these potential NBA guys, even more so. I don't know what it is about basketball players, but it seems like they have the largest entourage. It was incredible. And, everybody wants to put their hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, hey, let's move on to something just a little more positive. We have beat the hell out of rules and scandals today. Today it's like the Scandalous Sports Podcast. Yeah.
Well, how about we keep it positive and go into your positive running segment?
That sounds like a good idea.
What do you got for me today, brother?
So here we are. I am 7 weeks out. 7 weeks from today, as a matter of fact, is the Boston Marathon. Boston Marathon's a little funky. They run it on a Monday. It's a holiday up in the New England area called Patriots Day. And so I am 7 weeks away, and now is when it gets hard, right? Now you really start to crank. The miles go up quite a bit. I start dieting and watching my weight, and it starts to get really difficult. But again, like I always say, the juice is worth the squeeze. And
I'm sorry, every time you say juice, I think you're gonna say O.J. Simpson.
No way. God, you just ruined that phrase for me. That guy.
The juice is loose, like OJ is loose.
Hey, get off the scandal. We're on to something positive now. So,
all right, shut up.
So the juice is worth the squeeze. The hard work is worth it. The effort will be repaid on Patriots Day, April 16th in Boston, Massachusetts, and I'm looking forward to it. It's amazing what your body can do if you just push yourself. I read a fantastic story about a gentleman by the name of David Jones. Goes by Dave Jones. He is a gentleman out of Kentucky, I believe. He just completed in a little less than a year, 363 days. He ran 50 marathons, one in every state.
Holy cow.
And he ran an additional 8 marathons, one on each continent. Now, I know you're going through your geography notes from when you were in 4th or 5th grade. There's only 7 continents. Some people say he threw in another one called Zealandia or whatever, something in the New Zealand area. Whatever, I don't care. Even if it was 7 continents or 8. The point is, he ran 58 marathons around the world in 363 days.
Whew.
Is that impressive?
Amazing.
That's amazing. You know what's more amazing? 5 years ago, that guy was a 250-pound chain smoker. He just started running.
Wow.
It's amazing what your body can do if you just go out and push it. If you just dedicate yourself to this. If you just dedicate yourself to whatever your goal is. Look, we talk about running, but it's the same thing with weightlifting. It's the same thing with yoga classes. It's the same thing with studying for a test. It's the same thing with trying to get licensed to be, to pass the bar exam as a lawyer. Put in the time. Work towards your goals. It will be worth it in the end. And this guy is just an amazing, amazing human being. What he's been able to do. The name of his company escapes me, but I'll find it here before the end of the show to let y'all know about it. But he is just an incredible, incredible man to push himself. You walk out the door and you start that process to train for your first 5K, your first 10K, your first half marathon. You don't know where it's going to take you. He started 5 years ago. And look where it's taken him. You just don't know. You don't know what the potential is for you to accomplish something. But at the end of the day, it is in your hands. It sits within you. What do you want to do? Because at the end of the day, you can accomplish many, many great things. I am very excited to get to Boston in 7 weeks. And it's a tough road. But now I think about David Jones, who started running 5 years ago, and he was 250 pounds, and he was a chain smoker. I can't imagine what that first run was like. But here he is, 5 years later, having completed 58 marathons. I'm no math major, but that's a lot of miles in 1 year. And not only did he didn't do it, running from his house every weekend. He went around the world to do it. I mean, just the traveling alone has got to be insane. It's got to be tiring. Just an incredible, incredible man. Really an incredible story. But, that's what you can accomplish. You can accomplish whatever you want. And for those of you out there right now that are sitting there thinking, well, I'm training for my first 5K. Thanks, Ed. That makes me feel like shit because I'm not doing nearly that much. It doesn't matter. We're all on our own journey. I will never run 58 marathons in 1 year. Never. I know I won't. But I may get closer to achieving my goals. It is going to drive me to train harder for the next 7 weeks to try to achieve my goal in Boston 7 weeks from today, God willing. And it's the same thing for you. We are all on our own journey. I firmly believe that. I don't compare my journey to yours or anyone else's. I don't even compare my journey to David Jones. We're all on our own journey. But I'm going to make the best of my journey by dedicating myself to my goals, by pushing myself to what I think I can accomplish, and then just going for it. Because at the end of the day, you don't win any medals, and you don't earn any accolades, and you don't get any praise by just sitting around wishing it to be. You have to work hard for it. And at the end of the day, that's what David Jones did. That's what I'm going to do for the next 7 weeks. I'm sure that's what you're going to do with whatever your goals are. And at the end of the day, we will all achieve something. Even you who's training for a 5K, even you who's training for a half marathon. It does not matter what your goal is. The joy is your journey. Be on your journey. Dedicate yourself to your goals and your path, and you will achieve and succeed. I promise you.
That's truly amazing, man. That's a crazy story.
It is. It's an absolutely crazy story. That sounds
like he was out to see what his body and just a personal goal of his. Honestly, I've looked and I don't know what. Sounds like he just wanted to see what he was made out of. You know what I mean?
I don't know what caused him to want to do that or what pushed him that way, but holy crap, what did he go out and accomplish? Just amazing Amazing what he was able to do.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Oh, here it is. His Twitter his thing is Eternal Endurance, and his Twitter handle is @Eternal Endurance without the E on the end. No E on the end. Whatever.
He ran 58 marathons in a year. He doesn't need an E after endurance.
That's a good point. I don't need an E. But anyway, check out his website. Give him a follow or whatever. I mean, it's an amazing story, and he's an incredible individual. He's a big dude too. I mean, he was 250 pounds. He's less than that now. But I mean, he's not like some little 5-foot guy. I mean, he's 6 foot something.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a big guy.
Big dude.
That's a lot of pounding. That's a lot of miles. It's just an incredible story. But hey, you can make your own incredible story.
Yep.
What you got?
Man, I'm
tapped out.
I'm juiced out.
I know. No. I noticed. I noticed you have not talked about it, but
talked about what?
I don't give a shit. So what happened to your? What happened? We normally do this on Sunday night,
right?
And we didn't because you couldn't. You said you couldn't move. What? Did something happen? Like, I don't know, to your foot?
Maybe just a little something. It ballooned over the weekend. It took a couple cortisone shots, and I'm good to go now.
You're playing through the pain.
We
have to address it because I brought it up in the intro. People are gonna be like, playing through pain, brother. What the hell is he talking about? What's the story? What's the story with that balloon you have attached to your foot?
Man, listen, it's a long story. Actually, it's a really short story. It just happened so damn quick. Okay, couple drinks, and I stumbled, and
Oh, you were drinking? I didn't know that.
I missed a step or two, and my one side of my foot is pretty much the color of Barney right now. So
that sucks, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Well, the good thing is we did this podcast sitting down, so you should be.
If we were standing up, I would sit down. I don't care. You could stand up if you want, but I would have sat my happy butt the whole time.
So have you gone to the doctor?
I have not, but just home remedies. Home remedies will do.
You're gonna be on the shelf for a while, buddy.
I'll be all right.
That does not look good.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say this much. I will never again critique a professional athlete, okay? And say, oh, man up, you wuss. Just play through the pain.
You're playing through the pain?
Yeah,
I mean, you can now say that to athletes.
Man, I'm sitting through the pain. It's a little easier.
You can now tell them, hey, man, just play through the pain. I did it. I ran my mouth for 45 minutes. I mean, I'm toughing it out.
Yeah, no, they do it on a different scale, brother.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't see. I mean, I can't even put a shoe on. I can't even put a shoe on.
You don't have shoes on?
I would show you, but
no wonder it smells bad in here. I thought it was just my office, but now I know it's you.
Why? I mean, I couldn't shower for a few days, man. So
Oh my god, this show's getting worse.
Smell.
Thank God it's just audio and video and not like
scratch and sniff.
A scratch and sniff podcast. If we invent that, cool. If we invent that, we're gonna be cajillionaires. Well, I don't know. How many times are people going to want to smell the podcast, right?
They might want to smell you after a marathon.
That is a special smell.
Yes.
And not in a good way.
Ooh, no.
You're out there running for 3-4 hours. It's not good.
Well, you sweat while you're tightening the screw.
Yeah, well, that's true.
So
that's true.
It doesn't matter what you're doing.
No, it really doesn't. It really doesn't. All right.
Well, I think
I'm ready to go to shout-outs.
Let's go to shout-outs, man.
You got a shout-out?
I got a shout-out, man. I've been on the shelf this past weekend, and shout-outs to my wife, who I mentioned I didn't go to the doctor, so, little home remedies here and there. Nothing like my lovely wife giving me massages, rubbing vapor rub on my stinky foot, and wrapping it up real good, and, allowing me to to come out today in the pod. So,
jeez, I think my shout out goes to her as well. That poor woman. I have so much respect and admiration for her. Yeah. Wait, is she trying to become a saint or something? Because putting up with you is difficult. Putting up with you injured has got to be 10 times more difficult.
No. I'm not grouchy and, bitchy or nothing like that.
Oh, my God.
Just
remind
me
to send her like some flowers or something. I feel bad for her. My shout out goes to Red Gerard, Jamie Anderson, Chloe Kim, Sean White, Michaela Schifrin, Jessica Diggins and Kickin' Randall, David Weiss, the women's ice hockey team, and the men's curling team. Those are the 9 gold medalists that the U.S. produced at this year's Winter Olympics. Their performances were fantastic, top-notch. The Olympics, I think, especially for American athletes, is a pressure-packed situation. It is the opportunity of a lifetime for them to get their names out there, to become famous, to get endorsement deals that they never would have imagined. And these 9 individuals/teams have made it happen for themselves, for their families, for their years and years of effort. My hat goes off to them. They were fantastic over the last 2 weeks. If you look at that list and think about those names, you've got a 17-year-old barely out of high school with all the pressure in the world. You've got a guy who's been through it over and over again. You have a team that was on the brink of being out of it and embarrassed once again in the curling team. And you have a gal who skied her ass off the last 200 meters of a race to pip the Norwegian and pick up gold for her team. The gamut of stories is fantastic. My shout out goes out to these 9. They provided so much entertainment. I am grateful to you all for providing us with moments that you will remember for a lifetime. I'll talk about for a couple more weeks probably. But thank you so much, because what you did over the last 2 weeks was amazing, improbable in instances, and just fantastic to watch. It made it a pleasure to stay up till 3 a.m. watching stuff. It was great. I loved it. Loved every minute of it. So my shout out goes to those 9 U.S. gold medalists.
Awesome.
Really, all the gold medalists probably deserve a shout out, but those 9 are
the
American. I'm
more.
American. I'm an American. That's the way we roll. So
sounds good, man.
I think that's it. Let's wrap this puppy up. For those of you that like to get a hold of us, you can do so. You can reach the show at positivesports10@gmail.com. Again, positivesports, the number 10@gmail.com. Let me say that a little bit faster for you. positivesports10@gmail.com. That is the show's email address. We welcome your questions, comments, and maybe a compliment or two. That's okay too. If you want to reach my brother, how does that happen?
Like always, don't be a leader. Follow me at Brooklyn Gaucho on Twitter.
Excellent. And if you want to get a hold of me, my Twitter handle, eMontana21. You can reach me at eMontana21. I got some grief last week. I made a little boo-boo, and I got a lot of heat for it. So what I'm going to do, I am going to ignore the negativity and be the positivity.
Peace.